Yay! Okay, we're live. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Think and Grow Rich Daily Hangout. My name is Sandy Devek, and I'm here today with Geraldine.
Geraldine.
Sorry, that was your very unobvious cue today. um, in Ireland, and the good news is I've had more than 2.5 hours sleep today, so I won't be like yawning the whole way through like I was on Friday. That was so funny. I was like, hopefully nobody really watches today's episode, and then I got all these comments. I was like, whoops, I forgot that a lot of people watch after the recording, actually. Ironically, but that's good. When you want to do something, I did think when my alarm went off that on Friday, oh my goodness, maybe I should just sleep and not do the hangout. But it felt so bad to do that because when you said you'll do something, and I really enjoy. I think I can feel the effect that doing these hangouts and reading this book every day is having. So I just got out of bed and I did it. So burning desire. We got Glenn back. Ah, oh my God, that's so cool. Hello, Glenn.
Hello there.
Oh, hang on, we need to get some sound effects here. Okay, pretend I didn't just say that. I'll just surprise you in a second. Great to see you. It's been ages. How are you?
Well, good. Doing fine.
Yeah. How was you went to, for people watching, Glenn was on a lot, and then you've been off at weddings, and did you go to a Bob Proctor seminar as well?
Well, no, I didn't. I didn't go to that seminar. I went to California for a couple of weeks, and we had our grandson with us for about a week, and so we just had a busy month,
Yeah. Oh, did you have fun though?
Yeah, oh yeah, we did. We had a great time. Yeah, it was amazing. It was our 45-year-old son who got married for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was kind of exciting. That was our last child to get married.
Ah, wow. Oh, so 45, yeah. That. Hang on, just. We've got a little technologically advanced since you were on, Glenn. Hang on, and just to celebrate you being back, let's do this. Oh dear. Oh well, great to have you both on. What we've been reading about, we've gone back into the book, Glenn, and we're actually on chapter 6, imagination and the crystallization of desire into action. So, planning, the crystallization of desire into action. And on Friday we were reading about all the different causes of failure, which is funny because I don't really like the word failure very much personally. I tend to think often that can stop people from doing anything because they don't want to fail. And sometimes people, I like the way people describe it as it's just when things don't work out, But what I think is useful about his list is that it does give you some insights into, he interviewed over 500 of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. So he noticed what they weren't doing and what other people were doing. So I think it is useful just to have that awareness. And we're up to basically taking inventory of yourself, 28 questions you should answer on page 114. So I know you guys have been off a bit. Do either of you want to read, or would you prefer for me to read? I really don't mind.
If you want. I could read.
Oh, cool. Okay. So page 114, and it's the 28 questions you should ask yourself.
114.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'll just get it and then I'll share my screen.
Cool. So Glenn, I'm curious. How did your son meet his now wife? Like, if they.
Interestingly enough, they met online.
Oh, really?
They met
I thought that might be an interesting story there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're both aficionados of Lord of the Rings and that type of thing, and so they were conversing about that online, and somehow they decided to meet, and they met, and they fell in love.
Oh my goodness, that's lovely. Oh.
Yeah, so it was kind of sweet, it's kind of a nice. And she's a wonderful, wonderful woman. We love
Oh,
her. She's going to be a great add to the family. Very sweet.
oh, oh. And did she live in the same city as him already?
Well, they both live in California, and it wasn't the same city. They had to drive a little bit to meet, but once they did, then they kind of decided that he decided that was his soulmate. And I said to him when he decided to get married, I said, Jeff, it took a long time. He said, well, Dad, he said, I had to find the right woman. He said, and it's only going to be one time. So I think that's a good thing. Good way to start a marriage.
Yeah, good things come to those who wait. Oh, oh.
So
Have you
very,
got the
very
page,
nice.
Geraldine? Oh.
This has changed a bit. Is
Ah,
it
there
coming
we
up in the screen?
It's coming up, yeah. That's it.
Great.
So
So do I
the
start
20.
self-analysis questionnaire for personal imagery? Is that where we're starting?
I think. Oh, you might have a slightly different copy. Yeah,
Oh,
that's mine. Mine's called something else, but that's what it is basically. Is the first question annual self-analysis?
the first question says, have I attained the goal which established as my objective for this year?
Oh yeah. Okay. You just need to scroll up a tiny little bit. To where the big black heading where it says "Take inventory of yourself." It's just before that
Oh,
actually.
yes, yes.
You
I
didn't
see.
read that yet. Yeah. Great.
Cool. And you guys can see it, yeah?
Yeah, we can see. Perfect.
Okay,
Okay, I'm with myself. Thank you.
no problem. So take inventory of yourself. 28 questions you should answer. Annual self-analysis is an essential in the effective marketing of personal services, as is annual inventory in merchandising. Moreover, the yearly analysis should disclose a decrease in faults and an increase in virtues. One goes ahead, stands still, or goes backward in life. One's objective should be, of course, to go ahead. Annual self-analysis will disclose whether advancement has been made, and if so, how much. It will also disclose any backward steps one may have made. The effective marketing of personal services requires one to move forward even if the progress is slow. Your annual self-analysis should be made at the end of each year, so you can include it in your New Year's resolutions. Any improvements which the analysis indicates should be made. Take this inventory your answers with the aid of someone who will not permit you to deceive yourself as to their accuracy. Self-analysis questionnaire for personal inventory. 1. Have I attained the goal which established as my objective for this year? You should work with a definite yearly objective to obtain as a part of your major life objective. 2. Have I delivered service of the best possible quality of which I was capable, or could I have improved any part of this service? 3. Have I delivered service in the greatest possible quantity of which I was capable? 4. Has the spirit of my conduct been harmonious and cooperative at all times? 5. Have I permitted the habit of procrastination to decrease my efficiency, and if so, to what extent? 6. Have I improved my personality, and if so, in what ways? 7. Have I been persistent in following my plans through to completion? 8. Have I reached decisions promptly and definitely on all occasions? 9. Have I permitted any one or more of the 6 basic fears to decrease my efficiency? 10. Have I been either overcautious or undercautious? 11. Has my relationship with my associates in work been pleasant or unpleasant? If it has been unpleasant, has the fault been partly or wholly mine? 12. Have I dissipated any of my energy through lack of concentration or effort? 13. Have I in connection with all subjects? 14. In what way have I improved my ability to render service? 15. Have I been intemperate in any of my habits? 16. Have I expressed, either openly or secretly, any form of egotism? 17. Has my conduct towards my associates been such that it has induced them to respect me? 18. And decisions been based upon guesswork or accuracy of analysis and thought? 19. Have I followed the habit of budgeting my time, my expenses, and my income, and have I been conservative in these budgets? 20. How much time have I devoted to unprofitable effort, which I might have used to better advantage? 21. How may I rebudget my time and change my habits so I will be more efficient during the coming year? 22. Have I been guilty of any conduct which was not approved by my conscience? 23. In what ways have I rendered more service and better service than I was paid to render? 24. Have I been unfair to anyone, and if so, in what way? 25. If I have been the purchaser of my own services for the year, would I have been satisfied with my purchase? 26. Am I in the right vocation, and if not, why not? 27. Has the purchaser of my services been satisfied with the service I have rendered, and if not, why not? 28. What is my present rating on the fundamental principles of success? Make this rating fairly and frankly, and have it checked by someone who is courageous enough to do it accurately. Having read and assimilated the information conveyed through this chapter, you are now ready to create a practical plan for marketing your personal services. In this chapter will be found an adequate description of every principle essential in planning the sale of personal services, including the major attributes of leadership, the most common causes of failure in leadership, a description of the fields of opportunity for leadership, the main causes of failure in all walks of life, and the important questions which should be used in self-analysis. This extensive and detailed presentation of accurate information has been included because it will be needed by all who must begin the accumulation of riches by marketing personal services. Those who have lost their fortunes and those who are just beginning to earn money have nothing but personal services to offer in return for riches. Therefore, it is essential that they have available the practical information needed to market services to best advantage. The information contained in this chapter will be of great value to all who aspire to attain leadership in any calling. It will be particularly helpful for those aiming to market their services as business or industrial executives. Complete assimilation and understanding of the information here conveyed will be helpful in marketing one's own services, and will also help one to become more analytical and capable of judging people. The information will be priceless to personal directors, managers, and other executives charged with the selection of employees and the maintenance of efficient organizations. If you doubt this statement, test its soundness by answering in writing the 28 self-analysis questions. That might be both interesting and profitable, even though you do not doubt the soundness of the statement. Where and how one may find opportunities to accumulate riches. Now that we've analysed the principles by which riches may be accumulated, we naturally ask, where may one find favourable opportunities to apply these principles? Very well, let us take inventory and see what the United States of America offer the person seeking riches, great or small. To begin with, let us remember, all of us, that we abiding citizen enjoys freedom of thought and freedom of deed unequalled anywhere in the world. Most of us have never taken inventory of the advantages of this freedom. We have never compared our unlimited freedom with the curtailed freedom in other countries. Here we have freedom of thought, freedom in politics, freedom in the choice of business, professional or occupation, freedom to accumulate and own without molestation, all the property we can accumulate, freedom to choose our place of residence, freedom in marriage, freedom through equal opportunity to all races, freedom of travel from one state to another, freedom in our choice of foods, and freedom to aim for any station in life for which we have prepared ourselves, even for the presidency of the United States. We have other forms of freedom, but this list will give a bird's eye view of the highest order. The advantage of freedom is all the more conspicuous because the United States is the only country guaranteeing to every citizen, whether native born or naturalized, so broad and varied a list of freedom. Next, let us recount some of the blessings which our widespread freedom has placed within our hands. Take the average American family, for example, meaning the family of average income, and sum up the benefits available to every member of the family in this land of opportunity and plenty. A. Food. Next to freedom of thought and deed comes food, clothing, and shelter, the three basic necessities of life. Because of our universal freedom, the average American family has available at its very door the choicest selection of food to be found anywhere in the world and at prices within its financial range. A family of two living in the heart of Times Square district in New York City, far removed from the source of production of foods, took careful inventory of the cost of a simple breakfast, with this astonishing result: articles of food, cost of breakfast on the table, grapefruit juice, I think that's 2 cents, ripped wheat breakfast food, 2 cents, tea, 2 cents, bananas, 2.5 cents, toasted bread, 1 cent, fresh country eggs, 7, sugar from Cuba or Utah, 0.5 cent, butter and cream from New England, 3 cents, with a grand total of 20 cents. It is not very difficult to obtain food in a country where two people can have breakfast consisting of all they want or need for a dime apiece. Observe that this simple breakfast was gathered by some strange form of magic from China, South America, Utah, Kansas, New England states, and delivered on the breakfast table ready for consumption in the very heart of the most crowded city in America, at a cost well within the means of the most humble laborer. The cost included all federal, state, and city taxes. Here is a fact that politicians did not mention when they were crying out for the voters to throw their opponents out of office because the people were being taxed to death. B. Shelter. This family lives in a comfortable apartment heated by steam, lighted with electricity, gas for cooking, all for $65 a month. In a smaller city or a more sparsely settled part of New York City, the same apartment could be had for as low as $20 a month. The toast they had for breakfast in the food estimated with was toasted on an electric toaster, which cost but a few dollars. The apartment is cleaned with a vacuum sweeper that is run by electricity. Hot and cold water is available at all times in the kitchen and bathroom. The food is kept cool in a refrigerator that is run by electricity. The wife curls her hair, washes her clothes, and irons them with easy operated electrical equipment on power obtained by sticking a plug in the wall. The husband shaves with an electric shaver, and they receive entertainment from all over the world 24 hours a day if they want it, without cost, by merely turning the dial. Are other conveniences in this apartment, but the foregoing list will give a fair idea of some of the concrete evidence of the freedom we of America enjoy, and this is neither political nor economic propaganda. C. Clothing. Anywhere in the United States, the woman of average clothing requirements can dress very comfortably and neatly for less than $200 a year. An average man can dress for the same or less. Only the three basic necessities of food, clothing, and shelter have been mentioned. The average American has other privileges and advantages available in return for modest effort, not exceeding 8 hours per day of labor. Among these is the privilege of automobile transportation, with which one can go and come at will. The average American has security of property rights not found in any other country in the world. He can place his surplus money in a bank with the assurance that his government will protect it and make good for him if the bank fails. If an American citizen wants to travel from one state to another, he needs no passport, no one's permission. He may go when he pleases and return at will. Moreover, he may travel by train, private automobile, bus, airplane, or ship, as his pocketbook permits. In Germany, Russia, Italy, and most of the European and Oriental countries, people cannot travel with so much freedom and at so little cost. The miracle.
Oh, I think we can stop there. Ah,
Okay.
yeah, cool. Thank you, Geraldine. That's excellent. Thank you. So we just read about the 28 different ways to take inventory of ourselves, and then he goes into this part here about, I guess, being grateful about what we have, because he's talking about America, and it was 100 years ago or so. But like the point is, I'm just scrolling through to the next part because it still goes on for a while. Is he's talking about how he's just trying to get people to be grateful really for what they have here, to help them create whatever they want to create. The organized capital has allowed for all of this to go on. So, any thoughts from you guys?
Well, one thing I haven't done on the self-inventory is have my wife go over it with me. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'll go through each one and see if and of course, I'll tax her to be a little honest about it, right?
Yeah.
In other words, try to, give me something that can help me improve too. That's
right.
That's key.
Yes, someone who knows you well, and is not going to be, mean about it. No, exactly. I don't think she wouldn't be. So, yeah, that's a good idea, Glenn. Yeah, because the questions are, have I attained? And he's saying to do this every New Year's Eve. So to look at, did you achieve the objective you had for the year? Did you give best possible quality of service and quantity? Have you been cooperative? Have you procrastinated? Have you improved your personality, been persistent, reached decisions promptly, been over-cautious or under-cautious, not been able to concentrate? And actually, just reading this makes me think about something, which is a friend of mine put it this way once, actually. I found it really helpful. She was saying that often if you're feeling anxious about something, it could be that you're just not being productive enough. Whether you work for someone or you have your own business, that often when you start to actually just get on with things. I found that really true. When I just find I get a lot of satisfaction from completing things that I want to complete. And I've started writing them down on a piece of paper. I stopped doing that for many years. But now, the day before, I don't do it 2 days ahead. The night before, I just write out 2 or 3 things I would like to accomplish the next day. and I love crossing them off. It feels so good. It's so like,
activity does help. When you're, let's say if you're down or if you're failing in something, right? Activity, pushing some activity in the right direction is a help, right? It's definitely a move forward. I mean, I think that in itself is a help.
And I found that giving yourself like a time frame to do it, because sometimes it's easy to let things take ages, especially if you're depending on other people for parts of it, and if someone just says to you, look, you've got to do this as quickly as possible, you've got to move fast.
Yeah.
Like someone last week, they said to me, suggested I should do something, and I could see how normally it would probably have taken me about a week, 10 days to do it, because it was quite complicated. But they were really urgent, like, you've got to do this quickly. So I did it within like 3 days. I stayed up a lot, late at night to do it, and when I finished, I felt so good.
It becomes its own reward, it does.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like crossing a finishing line. And the other ones we have on there are, have I been unfair to anyone? How have I rendered more service and better service than I was paid to render? Am I in the right vocation? What is my present rating on the fundamental principles of success? So that's all about looking at what you've done, how you've improved, how you're moving towards where you'd like to go, and whether you've done more than been like a go-giver. That's one of his big philosophies, is you need to like give more than you take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give service beyond the original contract, right? If you want to look at it that way. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Not just doing the bare minimum, but sort of going above and beyond. And actually, a training I was on at the weekend was talking about this too. It's a great way to build responsiveness with people. And whatever, you could do this. This applies to anything that you do. If you consistently over-deliver on things, people just start to respect you more and respond to you more. Because they know that you do that. And if if you're very clear about what problem you solve for people in whatever you do, and you help people to solve that problem, then they just become more responsive to you. If you're in terms of having influence and actually sort of moving forward with what you're doing.
They'll seek you out for counsel sometimes, right? Because of that,
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, exactly. And the guy that was saying this, he was just give his story as an example. He was saying that he always, ever since he's started doing what he does on the internet, he's always done his best to over-deliver with things, and that people who've known him for a long time still follow him and listen to what he's suggesting, because from the very start he's just had that philosophy, and people have stayed very loyal to him, and they know when he's going to do something, that he's always going to deliver what he says, and then some more than that, like it's always just really high quality. So I thought that was really interesting, because sometimes people it's easy to get into this thing of just doing what you've got to do, like the bare minimum.
Yeah. Funny, because
especially if you're doing something over and over. Oh, go on, Geraldine. Oh, we can't hear you.
that film.
Oh, now we can.
Oh, am I unmuted?
I don't know if it's just me or not, but we couldn't hear you for. Maybe you just repeat what you just said.
I went to see the film Lucy last night. Have you seen that film?
Oh,
it's just recently. Yeah.
Oh no, it's gone again. Geraldine, we can't hear you. What could you repeat what you said after Lucy?
Can you hear me? No.
Yeah, we can. You're good. I'll just go like this if we can't.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, dear.
It keeps coming out.
That's
Maybe
okay.
maybe you could say it in the group chat, and I'll say it on your behalf. Do you know where the group chat is? It's the little blue button in the top, the very first button on the left hand side, um, where there's little white lines on a blue button.
Oh,
Yeah, because it keeps
okay.
cut. It's strange because when you were reading it, it cut out a couple of times, but not very much. And now it's. We have some comments from Danielle Roncadin. Hi, Danielle, who asks if we speak Italian. Um, the answer to that for me is no. Like 2 words, but that's it. You guys speak Italian?
No.
No.
No, I don't speak Italian.
Yeah.
I like to
And
learn French, though.
yeah, exactly. And then we have another question. You know, guys, like leave us relevant questions, otherwise I'm just not going to read them out. About which came first, about the chicken or the egg. I'm like, what? Wrong hangout. So yeah, if you just leave us your, I'll go into the group chat so I can see. And I'll just share I'd love to hear what you're going to say, Geraldine, about Lucy. I was thinking about watching it, so that's I'd love to know what your experience of it was. Um, yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to share, Glenn, before we wrap up?
No, I've got a doggy behind me here.
Oh, is it better for you now that it's a bit later? What time is it there for you in Nashville?
Well, you know, it was 5:15 right when we started, so that's good. So the family is stirring here.
Whoa, she's like, it's one of the Maltesers.
Yes. Just,
Oh.
someday I'll grab it and show it to you. They're
Yeah, I was
pretty
going to say
sweet.
to Tracy and like just pick her up and be like, here she is.
They're pretty sweet.
Talking about the dog and then 1 second later in the hangout. Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's been about a month since we rescued them, and they're fitting in nicely. Yeah, very sweet.
Oh, they're actually really happy to be in a nice, like loving family.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just realized that we didn't talk about the second part when he's talking about where and how one may find opportunities to accumulate riches. So I guess he's talking about countries where you could do this, where you could apply the steps that he's sharing. And he's talking about America and being grateful for what's there. It's interesting what he said about the family living in the heart of Times Square district in New York City.
Yeah, well, yeah, but those prices would have to be severely revised now, of course.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, because that's one of the most expensive areas you can live in the world, I think.
Well, yes, yeah.
Like Fifth Avenue and.
By the way, you find that Portugal has all the comforts that you had in France. I mean, pretty much.
Yeah, it does actually. In fact, it has better internet.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, it was actually it had internet installed later than in France, because I guess it just didn't have the budget for it, and but because of that, the technology was better than in France and in other countries. So they actually have like really high technology cables and stuff. So the internet's really clear. You know, now when I first did some hangouts, people were like, "Oh my God, we can see way clearer."
Yeah.
Oh, we have a message from Geraldine. So she said, "I went to see the film Lucy, and the general message I got was, we are given life, and we have our own gift to share. So get to work." So I was aware of where procrastination and self-doubt were just obstacles. So no more. Get to work. Smiley face. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
We'll have to see that. That's with Scarlett Johansson, I think. Is it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah. I love that. And that's funny because I watched Dead Poets Society yesterday with Robin Williams. And it has a similar kind of. I didn't actually get to watch all of it. I fell asleep, catching up on all of the lack of sleep from last week. But it had a scene where Robin Williams makes a young boy speak in front of the class and just say whatever comes to his mind. And the boy doesn't want to because he doesn't think he's got anything worth to say. And then the guy just Robin makes him just speak and speak and speak, and he starts to share, and all this beautiful stuff starts to come out of him. And he says to him, you have it already in you. You had it all the time. So I think it's kind of a similar message. We all have gifts, and so you realize, well, okay, like Geraldine's saying here, get to work. Share it. Yeah, I love that.
Use it in the world, right? Put it out in the world.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes people have said to me, I had quite a few breakthroughs last week with my work. I was on some big webinars and calls, and I had quite a few messages from people who were saying, wow, well done, like, what's your secret? How have you been doing that? And one of the things that I'll just share to finish, I remember when I made daily videos every day for a year in 2013, and it wasn't my idea. I was inspired by a friend of mine who'd done something similar. But I remember having this awareness when I was thinking about doing it, because I started out for a month initially, and then I had this awareness that if I carried on, it would create a lot more than if I just stopped, that it could change my life. And I suddenly realized if I don't do that, no one else is going to come along and just give me, the results that I would like, or no one's going to come along and I won't suddenly just have an internet presence. I won't suddenly just be able to speak to lots of people. I had this really strong awareness, I hope I'm expressing it clearly, that I had to create it, that I had to actually do stuff. And it's not quite coming out exactly as I would like, but it was really strange. Because I think before that I was kind of waiting for something to happen a little bit, Yeah. And so I just got to work and made videos every day. And that did change my life completely, and it's still continuing to. So, so I think that message that you shared, Geraldine, is really important.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, I think behind every dream is the burning desire, and then underneath the burning desire is action, right? There has to be action somewhere.
Yeah. You have to meet the universe halfway, is the way I like to describe it, or God, or infinite intelligence. Yeah. And when you do, it's amazing. Like sometimes I've noticed, sometimes we take action and you can kind of feel that the action you're taking might not be exactly what's going to get you there, but that somehow, by the fact that you're taking action, it will get you there anyway. That it will open up a door to another piece of action that will get you there.
Right.
Or that, it's almost like, I feel like it's like you start running. You said to the universe, this is where I'm going, and you just start running, even if you're not quite sure if you're running in the right direction. And the universe then says, oh, hang on, over here. This is going to be a better way. And then you can, but if you don't start running, the universe can't say that to you. Sometimes, even if I feel like I'm taking action, which I'm not completely sure it's what's going to create what I'm looking for, I just take it anyway, because I know that it will have that effect. It's like a message to the universe that, yes, I'm doing this, I'm going. Cool. Oh, I thought we had an epic sound effect there. Oh, well, lovely to see you both.
See you too.
I'll be back tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for reading, Geraldine. And great to have you back on, Glenn, after a little absence there for a while of your wedding, and congratulations to your son. And let's go out and share our gifts.
Okay, have a great day, everybody.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.